Next, everybody please stand so we can salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Councilor Brown.
Here.
Councilor Judith Garcia is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia is absent. Councilor Lopez, absent. Councilor Robinson.
Yeah.
Councilor Recupero. Councilor Vido. Councilor De Jesus is absent. Councilor Heidelberg. Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Taylor. Here. 6 members present, 5 absent. You have a quorum.
Okay. First order of business
Accepting the call of the meeting.
is Calvin Brown moves to accept the call of the meeting. Seeing no objection, so moved.
First order of business, we have a resolution introduced by Council President Robinson and all members of the City Council. Whereas founded in 1973 in an Everett Avenue home, the Iglesia de Dios Pentecostal CLA began with missionary Maria Mendez inviting children to her home for Bible study. And whereas the gathering began to grow as parents joined their children for Bible study and fellowship, and whereas in 1976, a pastor by the name of Carlos Laboy joined the ministry, leading the effort to purchase the property at 229 Chestnut Street for worship services. And whereas for 17 years, the congregation began to grow, impacting lives in the community so much that the property at 229 Chestnut Street was no longer large enough. And whereas, under the leadership of Pastor Benjamin Ortolaza, the ministry was able to purchase their church home at its current location at 27 Crescent Avenue. And whereas, when the property was purchased, Pastor Ortolaza was called to a missionary camp in El Salvador, assigning current Pastor Francisco Caro and the late Pastor Marta Caro. And whereas Pastor Francisco Caro has been the long-standing pastor in the ministry, serving for 30 years beginning in 1993, and has greatly impacted the community, helping many, and continues to arduously serve through his steadfast faith. Now therefore be it resolved that we, the members of the Chelsea City Council, congratulate the congregation of Iglesia de Dios Pentecostal CLA on their 50th anniversary, and recognize Pastor Francisco Caro for the positive impact he has had on the community through his steadfast faith.
Adopt unanimously under suspension if there are no
Damali
objections.
Vidal moves to adopt this unanimously under suspension. Seeing no objection, so moved.
Can I just say something briefly?
Yes, you have the floor, Council.
Thank you. I don't want to take too much time, but I just want to acknowledge Dr. Francisco Caro for all the work that he's done in this community. He is a staple for many of us. When I lost my niece and both my cousin a couple years back, he was the person that was praying for us, and he has the utmost faith. He recently lost his wife to illness, and he's just also always been a stand-up man, also worked at Soldiers Home for many years, and I just want to salute him and acknowledge him and give him his kudos.
Thank you, Councilor Recupero.
Me too. He's a good guy, he's a good gentleman. He worked for the Soldiers Home for many years. He helped the community. He helped many people when they couldn't bury the people. He would help them go to the church and they wouldn't have to pay. So it's a great thing that we recognize this gentleman, and he's a great person, great humanitarian. There's not much more you can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilor. Councilor Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. I want to congratulate the church and also Reverend Francisco Cargo on attaining the 50 years of service to our community and surrounding communities here in the city of Chelsea and those communities that surround where he make up his membership. I want to just wish him and his community, our community, blessed favor, because we have some folks in our community that will be able to help and do some of the things that was already described. May their message continue to bring hope and love and unity to our community as we glorify the work that God is doing with them, to keep them, sustain them for 50 years. I just want to, again, wish them happy anniversary on their 50th anniversary. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Councilor. Next order.
Public speaking.
Seeing nobody here for public speaking, we will move on to the next.
Next, we have approval of the minutes of the June 26, 2023 City Council meeting.
Move to accept and file with the suspension if there are no objections.
Seeing no objection, so moved.
Next, we have a copy of a communication received from City Manager Ned Keefe regarding the naming of Herbie Coopersmith Way. Dear councilors, in accordance with the Chelsea Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Section 2.3, I am writing to recommend that the city rename the stretch of 4th Street between Walnut Street and the Tobin Bridge, the area of 4th Street directly across the side of the Walnut Street Synagogue, as Herbie Coopersmith Way. As many of you know, Mr. Herbert M. Coopersmith, known far and wide as Herbie, is a Chelsea native, moving here at age 2, where he established a lifelong commitment to the community in support of education, where over many years he donated significantly to Chelsea Public Schools, Marblehead Public Schools, and Swampscott Public Schools, providing scholarship opportunities for countless students to advance their educations and help find their way in life. Mr. Coopersmith attended the Walnut Street Synagogue, bar mitzvahed there in 1952, and dedicated his life to fundraising and helping the shul remain in operation. Renaming the stretch of 4th Street alongside the Walnut Street Synagogue building and organization that he helped to support will be a fitting capstone to his work here in Chelsea. If approved, we will prepare an appropriate street sign for the area. By the terms of Chapter 2, Section 2.3, the City Council has 30 days to act upon this request. While there is a celebratory event scheduled for August 19th, 2023, I ask that the Council consider approval at its next scheduled meeting so that an action can be made as soon as after the event is reasonable. Ned Keefe, City Manager.
Calvin Brown moves to accept and file a communication under suspension, and we can actually take the order up if there are no objections.
For roll call? For roll call?
For a roll call vote on the adoption.
Mr. President, if I could just say a few words.
Sure.
Thank you, sorry about
You
that.
want to wait for him to read the order?
Yeah.
All right, and then I'll-
Order introduced by Council President Robinson, ordered that pursuant to Chelsea Code of Ordinances, Chapter 2, Section 2.3, the Chelsea City Council hereby approves the designation of the area of 4th Street between Walnut Street and the Tobin Bridge as Herbie Coopersmith Way and authorizes the installation of appropriate signage to reflect such designation.
Calvin Brown moves to roll call the adoption.
I have a question. I don't see that on the agenda. I don't know if that's an issue or not.
Where?
The
Sonia.
communication is there, but the order isn't, and I'm not,
Order's under new business. Order's
It was
under
number
new
8.
business.
oh, because we're not going in order. Got it. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, got it. Sorry.
Chair recognizes Counsel Brown.
Thank you, Mr. President. Again, I just wanted to congratulate this remarkable achievement. And I know Herbie, I've known him for many years. His giving spirit, his commitment to not only Chelsea, but surrounding communities. And so many have benefit from his generosity and his love and his care. And I think, you know, when we go out and we decide to do things, what's being done here tonight, we want to look at folks, what they're doing and what they've given back. And, you know, here's a guy that came here from Brooklyn, New York, as he liked to say, at the age of 2, made it his home. To this day, he still calls it his home, although he doesn't live here. But he comes back here every 5 years. He does huge fundraisers to help students at Chelsea High, and it's really remarkable what he does. He always invites those members that helped him along the way. If you ever had a chance to go to some of his events, you'll see about 200 or 300 folks there, and the numbers, the great number of folks you would see there would be positive people that help folks also in their strive to be better human beings and be better persons. So I'm congratulating him here on this here, being named after him, Herbie's Way. I know it's going to be Herbie Coopersmith's Way, but I would like Herbie's Way. But, you know, it's a great job. Even as we were just celebrating the resolution on the 50th anniversary of Reverend Francisco Cargo and his congregation, here's Herbie. Not only does he give money to the communities for students, he also helped us save our historic spots and religious buildings here in Chelsea, which mentions here in this resolution. So I'm honored to be a part of it. I'm honored to support him and also support this resolution to have it be called Herbie Coopersmith's Way.
Thank you. If I may, from here. Actually, the event was all 390 Chelsea graduates and former graduates from Chelsea, and the bulk of them did not live in Chelsea. And actually, I was one of the people on the committee, along with Frankie DePato, Eddie Medros, Minna Carrots, and Herbie. And the goal was for 400 people and was to raise 20,000. Today, we met with the superintendent, and we turned over 31,000 in scholarship money for Chelsea High graduates. So I've known Herbie all my life. He went to Williams School. He was an athlete. He helped many Chelsea kids from Chelsea and other surrounding communities get into college. And he's just really an outstanding human being, and he'd give you the shirt off his back if he had to. And I think it's just a wonderful honor for him to have that be named Herbie Cooper Way right next to the Walnut Street Show. Clerk can call a roll call.
Councilor Brown?
Yes.
Councilor Judith Garcia is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia is absent. Councilor Lopez, absent. Councilor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilor Recupero?
Yes.
Councilor Vido?
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus is absent. Councilor Heidelberg? Yes. Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Taylor?
Yes.
The vote is 6 in favor, none opposed, 5 absent. The order is adopted.
Next order.
Next, we have an order introduced by Council President Robinson. Order that pursuant to Mass General Law, Chapter 54, Section 25B, subsection 8C1, the Chelsea City Council hereby approves early voting for the September 26, 2023 municipal preliminary election, and that such early voting shall take place on Saturday, September 16, 2023, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., and then during normal business hours from Monday, September 18, 2023, through Friday, September 22, 2023, in the City Clerk's office at Chelsea City Hall.
I ask that we adopt by roll call.
Council Vido moves to roll call on the adoption. Seeing no objections, clerk will call a roll.
Councilor Brown?
Yes on the adoption.
Councilor Judith Garcia is absent. Councilor Teneri Garcia, absent. Councilor Lopez, absent. Councilor Robinson?
Yes.
Councilor Recupero?
Yes.
Councilor Vido?
Yes.
Councilor De Jesus is absent. Councilor Heidelberg? Yes. Councilor Vega is absent. Councilor Taylor?
Yes.
6 in favor, none opposed, 5 absent. The order is adopted. Public announcements.
Any public announcements?
What, public announcement?
Yes.
Yeah, I got one. My public announcement is a simple one. Lately, I got a lot of complaints about recycling going into the dump truck. So, I don't know how that operates, how it works, but it should be separate. But it's not, it's going to the same thing, so we've been asking why that's happening, and maybe we'll get to the bottom, because what is the point of recycling when you're not recycling? So, I can't understand how they both work together, so if you still feel like recycle, do it. If you don't want to recycle, throw it in the trash, because that's where it's going. You know, they should. I can't understand. It's good to recycle, but lately recycle costs too much money, I suppose. I don't know how it operates, but it should be recycled, and the other one should be in their own, but it's not happening. And I hope they go back to the recycling the way it used to be.
Just for the public who is watching, I just want to kind of clarify what Recupero is referring to. So people are throwing out their trash and then they're throwing out their recyclables, but it's all getting dumped in one dumpster. And so I hope that when we start to convene again in September, we can hold the necessary conversations with DPW and with the administration to figure out why we're not disposing or getting rid of the recyclables as we should. It doesn't make sense for the resident to be required to do something and thinking that they're doing something in good faith, but yet at the end, we're not doing what we should be doing. So maybe get some clarity and to have some dialogue around that.
Okay. Any other? Councilor Brown.
Just want to note that Councilor Lopez had a meeting with Director Cook regarding this matter, so they're working on some ideas how to get some information out to the residents, and it's about just understanding what's going on. So Councilor Lopez did have that meeting, so I'm aware of that. So just wanted to let you know. Again, he's going to be getting some information. He's going to work with the residents on it. So.
Still going on.
Council, and I apologize that Councilor Lopez is not here, but he's away with his mother, so he can inform us when he come back. I just wanted you to know he was working on that.
Just a quick update as far as the information that I have. This past Friday night, the search committee did their final interviews, and I think they're going to vet the candidates, and they'll probably come to a meeting on September 11th and present to us who the candidates are and who would be moving forward. So that's the update on the city manager. I know on a public announcement, actually, you know, today was the 60th anniversary of the March on Washington with Martin Luther King. And I know that sometime when you don't know history or we're not paying attention to history, what happened was Chelsea Day was set up on Rosh Hashanah. So on behalf of the city of Chelsea and my colleagues, I'd like to apologize to my Jewish brothers and sisters for the oversight on this taking place. So I just want to say to that community, I want to apologize on behalf of city government and the people of Chelsea. Councilor Brown?
Thank you, Mr. President. I just want to inform the residents that we're coming to the end of this Sumner Tunnel traffic headache. This week will be the last full week that the tunnel will be closed. We are expecting, we've been talking to folks, we expect that some of the traffic jams and some of the traffic congestion will kind of ease up. I'm not sure if it's going to do it the first few weeks, but we're looking forward to folks getting back through the tunnel, stop going through Chelsea, getting on the highway without coming through Chelsea. So thank you, residents. It was a difficult time. There was a lot of headaches, but we hope when we get a chance to go through the tunnel that we'll see any improvements. It will still be closed on the weekend. Improvements still will be going on. So we hope in this inconvenience of this traffic nightmare and situation we just experienced would enhance our communication and travel on our roads here. So thank you for your patience, and we know it's been really tough, but thank you. Thank you.
Councilor Vido?
Are we doing moments of silence?
Yes.
I want to send my love to Councilor Lopez, who's in Guatemala with his mother that's ill. And then I have a couple of moments of silence when we're ready.
You have the floor.
Are we ready
You
for
can
moments of
name- yeah,
silence?
yeah.
Okay, I want to have a moment of silence for Paula Thayer and Debbie White, two lifelong Chelsea residents that are very well known in our community.
Councilor Recupero?
I have a moment of silence for Richie Ruggiero Sr., a longtime Chelsea person that just passed away too.
Moment of silence for those who were murdered in Jacksonville yesterday.
Also want to have a moment of silence as we get ready to celebrate the purple ribbons that's on poles out in our community for those that's lost their lives to overdose. So a moment of silence, and let those families know that we haven't forgotten you. You're in our thoughts and prayers.
Okay, seeing no other business before this council, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. President.